Yeah, good thing you
Well, I don't
reminded me.
want it on.
Good thing you reminded me. Hello, hello. Yeah.
I don't
Sure,
want
I
it
don't
on.
think so.
No.
No, I'm saying for next year.
Right, maybe for that. But I don't know if he's gonna even be back. Like,
You know what I'm talking about. I didn't put it on.
Oh, you did it on
even
purpose?
though,
no.
even though
Even
we're
though-
on camera, guys, even though we're on camera, I didn't wanna be on camera, but Tony, you've got a hard problem maneuvering on your bicycle. So I think you should just, otherwise, just show you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll check it out after.
You forgot it again.
Shut up to itself.
And you can keep that, Tony.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have a perfect spot for it.
Hello, hello, hello.
So 18th and Winona?
Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Okay, you're taller than me.
They put my mic on the opposite side.
Cynthia Miranda is.
It's usually over here.
Hey Cynthia, can you just say hello, just so I can see your audio? Hi, hello. Okay, that's good, I think. Thank you, Cynthia. Uh-huh.
You let me know, Tony.
I was watching Dr. Fauci testify today, and the chairman of the congressional committee had this huge mask, and at one point he went to put it back on cover his face, and he put it, you couldn't see his eyes. He was like up on his forehead.
Oh, man.
And he didn't realize that he was,
It took him a normal amount of time to look right into the.
I swear I heard words.
Ralph just left the room. We're gonna be calling it to order in a minute.
Need a drink of water.
I watched the diversity commission last night, and I thought from a technical standpoint, the recording was very crisp, and I could hear everyone
Good.
very well on the microphone.
It was really good.
I was a
Once they-
little concerned because I forgot my phone at home. So I really couldn't, like, if anyone was texting me to let me know, like, change the angle, pick up the
No,
email.
once they mounted the camera.
I didn't have it.
Yeah.
Once they mounted the camera, everything came up a lot better.
But Jim was
Yeah.
emailing me through it, but I couldn't reply till this morning. And he's like, don't worry, it was crisp, it was clear, the sound was great, and you guys did wonderful. So I was
was
like,
nice.
thank God, because I was a little worried.
Clerk Paul, can we call the committee whole to order, please?
Lennon?
Here.
Ramirez?
Here.
Reardon? Bate?
Here.
Santoy? Ruiz?
Here,
Avila?
Here.
Noack?
Here.
6 present, Mayor.
Make a motion that we excuse Alderman Reedon and Santoy.
Second.
Motion by Vila, seconded by Ruiz to excuse Alderman Reardon and Santoy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. All right, we have 3 items on the committee of the whole. They're all concerning the Community Development Block Grant. Director Mendocino, you have your presentation.
I do. Good evening. So the city of Berwyn received a letter dated April 2nd from HUD awarding them an allocation of $755,917 through the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Securities Act, which is the CARES Act. They're very specific on how we are able to utilize these funds. They also granted a waiver to their requirements, and that's why there are 3 amendments before you. The first amendment is the citizen participation plan. One of the waivers that HUD granted was that instead of a 30-day comment period for our action plan, amended action plan, or consolidated plan, the comment period is reduced from 30 days to 5 days. So when they do that, you have to adjust amend your citizen participation plan.
Director,
Yes,
is your green light on your microphone?
yes.
Okay.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you, but I don't know if it was just
Oh,
the
okay.
room or you, yeah.
They also allowed virtual public hearings, okay? And as well, they suspended the public service cap. Public service cap is generally 15% of your grant. At this point, they said there is no cap. We could spend this money through social service programs without there being that minimum 15%. So the first amendment is our citizen participation plan, where we put in the 5-day comment period instead of the 30-day. We also put that into, for our fair housing assessment, our consolidated plan, and our amended action plan. And it also allows for virtual hearings, such as today's hearing, okay?
So all 3 of the items, J6, 7, and 8, are basically contain that amendment.
But they contain that amendment, well, okay, so that takes care of the citizen participation plan. That was pretty minor.
Okay.
The amended action plan before you today is an amendment that we were going to do regardless because we had some additional money left over from last year's projects, so we were going to reallocate it. Our citizen participation plan says that if we have more than $100,000 or 25%, we have to amend our action plan. So this action plan is amended because of that, and also how we're spending the $755,000, $755,917. There are a couple ways that you could spend it. The city can construct a facility for testing, diagnosis, and treatment. You could do that by rehabilitating a community facility, a commercial building, a school to provide testing. $755,000 is not enough money to do that. The other ways to do that is to support businesses by providing grants and loans to businesses. Again, that's not a lot of money, and if a business was in trouble before they had to shut down, that's very difficult for accounting purposes. We would have to backtrack and see were they having difficulty before, how many people are employed, how many people could we help. So that was a lot more work than we have the capacity, and I don't think we can help as many people. What we discussed and what we decided to do is provide all this funding, virtually all of it, to Housing Forward. To be able to, they have the capacity to administer these funds in such a way where we don't. They are going to assist Berwyn residents with mortgage payments, short-term, rental payments, again short-term, and utility payments. So if a resident from Berwyn is having a hard time paying their mortgage or their rent or their utilities, they will be able to go to Housing Forward and apply for this money. Again, it's short-term, it's 3 months. They would have to provide the necessary documentation to them, and they would then pay the mortgage company or bank directly, the landlord directly, and the utilities directly. So that is in the amended plan as well. So this is how we propose spending this money. Does anybody have any questions with regards to that?
Yeah, you've got a lot of good items there for the residents. How are we going to get that information out to them?
Housing Forward is putting together a flyer. We are going to attempt to put it in the water bill. We will depend on a lot of the aldermen to get the word out to your constituents. The city's website, Facebook. The problem is we don't have those funds yet. We don't know when HUD is going to release these funds. So if people know about it today, they can go through the proper preliminary aspects of applying. And once that money's released, which we're not sure when HUD is going to do that, then it would just be a pretty seamless task.
Where is Housing Forward located?
Housing Forward is in Maywood. They actually staff 2 rotating shelters, and well, they were staffed 9 rotating shelters, 2 of which are in Berwyn. So they provide staffing for that. They're pretty savvy. They know what they're doing.
We have 9 shelters in Berwyn?
No,
No.
we have 2.
Oh.
They staff 9
They
total.
staff 9.
Oh, gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
We've been in discussion with HUD. HUD is on board with this. Generally, for community development block grant, CDBG money, HUD won't let you do short-term rental or mortgage assistance. They're making the exception to this.
And then, how's the reporting gonna work to ensure that those funds are accurately, deliberately used for Berwyn residents?
Well, okay, so what happens is Housing Forward, we're reimbursement. So Housing Forward will supply the necessary
So it's a spend
funds.
down?
Correct. And then what they do is they'll put together all the information that I need, which would be the resident's name, the resident's income, the staffing hours, and they would have to provide that documentation in order for the city to reimburse them, those funds. We anticipate being able to help roughly 200 people.
This was the only way that we felt we could help the majority of the people during these times, because the other ways to spend that money was not going to help sufficient people. It's still not a lot, but at least it's something.
So it'll probably it could take up to 2 years, unless there's so much need, and we know that there is, that we might go through it rather quickly, so.
Will the people who are getting these funds, will they have to prove that the need of the funds were caused by COVID?
Well, okay, so if you're unemployed, okay.
So that you lost your job because
You
of
lost
COVID?
your job, right there. I don't think that's going to be very difficult to do. There is documentation that you're going to have to provide,
If it says-
including your banking information, your landlord information. If somebody is, let's say, already behind in their rent, and we're going to assist them, then Housing Forward will have a discussion with that landlord to make sure that once that landlord gets 3 months' worth of rent, that they're not going to then evict. So there has to be an agreement that the landlord's not going to say, oh yeah, okay, great, I'm on board, and then a month after that, go through the process.
Makes
So we're going to definitely try to protect the tenants.
Do we have to pay Housing Forward for their services?
So with this grant, it's kind of rolled into the grant. There are administrative costs to it, but whatever time they spend, so if they do have staff member, and they've actually hired 2 staff members because Cicero is doing the same thing, Oak Park is also funding this for their residents. What happens is, you're going to have to prove time spent. So it's going to be timesheets and payroll records. Just like every social service agency does now, they have to provide that documentation before we reimburse them.
Okay.
So we went from 30-day to 5-day for public comment. Did we get
Correct.
anything? Any comments?
No,
And
nothing.
this was just in the Lawndale News? Is that where we put it?
It was in the Lawndale News. It was posted on the city's website, and the legal notice was also on the board, I believe, on the door as well.
Okay.
So the rough part is going to be what you asked, Alderman, the information. So Housing Forward's gonna put together a flyer, you said?
Housing Forward has pretty much already put together a flyer in both English and Spanish. They're going to put those wherever they can. We're going to get them for
Yeah,
City
we'll have to
Hall.
figure out, because if we do it with the water bills, it's gonna take 3 months to get them out because they're in different, quite possible, we could think about just hiring the company that we sometimes hire to put something at every door. So I'll talk to Reggie about that, what we think we might be able to do to get it noticed to everybody at the same time.
Good.
We'll try and do that.
And of course, everything with HUD is income-based. So, you know, if somebody is still working, making whatever income, if they don't qualify based on HUD's income requirements, then, you know, we won't be able to help them.
So Regina, do we know what, because I think before we spoke about the block grant and the income had to be really, really, really low. So let's say I lost my job, you know, would I qualify for this, or do you have to be
Your
30,
income has
30,000
to be
plus?
within their guidelines. They did raise it this year. They raised it in, I believe it was March, beginning of April. So a family of 8, if your income, and that's like the highest, if your income is, I think, $91,000 or $96,000, you're considered over income. So you have low income, moderate income, low, medium, and moderate income.
Okay. One of those.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, and again, Housing Forward is very familiar with those guidelines, those income guidelines, and they're pretty good at, we're very comfortable, HUD is very comfortable with them administering this grant.
And they're doing it for the 3 towns that you talked about?
I'm sorry?
They're doing it also for
Yes.
the other towns you talked about?
Yes, they are. They are.
Regina, I know that HUD had put out some documents before, and I apologize that I don't know where it all landed. But is there going to be restrictions for undocumented families in this program?
That's not a question they're asking.
Okay,
It's not a
thank you.
question they're asking.
That's helpful, that's good to know.
Any other questions?
So the way it was written, and there's a lot here. So the majority is going to offset mortgages and rentals and all that.
And utilities.
Was there something set aside specifically for homeless people to help them, or?
Well,
did that
we
not go
already
that route?
provide a grant for Housing Forward, so what we did is we increased, that's also in the amended plan, we increased Housing Forward's 2019 grant from $8,500 to, we added $20,000 to that. Because what they were doing and what they continue to do is, because the shelters are closed, they're housing people in motels and hotels. And so between food, shelter, laundry, that there's a need for that as well. And again, we're paying for the people who say they're from Berwyn. So as long as, if you walk into Housing Forward and say you're from Berwyn, you are a Berwyn resident. Okay, and that's who they assist, and that's how we reimburse, as long as they provide that information.
Any other questions? That's for all 3 items then, Regina?
Well, and the consolidated plan, which is our 2015-2019, the consolidated plan is basically an outline for your 5 years. We're in our 5th year, so when we had to amend our action plan, we had to also amend our consolidated plan to reflect this money and then the reallocation that we're providing basically public works for infrastructure. So any money that was left over in 2018, we're just pulling it all and giving it to public works for streets and sewers.
I do have a question in J7. There is something in here that says an amendment also reduces the expected 5-year goal of affordable housing rehabilitation units completed. The goals are amended to 32 household housing units to be completed from 56.
Okay, so that's for single-family rehab. When we did our 2015 goal, we were pretty ambitious, and we thought that we would be able to do 56 houses. So in other words, for a resident who can't afford to replace their roof, or needed windows, or needed tuck pointing, upgrading the electric, taking care of some code violations, we kind of thought we would be able to do 56. In 2015, we still had issues with finding contractors. There were a lot of contractors that either went out of business because of the crash. A lot of them did not want to deal with HUD's requirements. And then this year, we anticipated doing 10, completing 10. Well, when COVID hit, not only were homeowners not coming forward, but we didn't have anything. So we had to reduce that because we weren't going to meet those goals, those initial goals.
Oh, okay.
So that's what that is. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot about that.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else have anything else? Okay, Regina, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Regina.
We have nothing else for committee of the whole. So if I can have a motion to adjourn committee of the whole.
Motion to adjourn?
Avila by Ruiz, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Now, we'll be back for 8 o'clock, and the camera's still running, so,
Okay.
okay? Don't ride your bike around me.
That's a weight limit, boss.
So far, so good, you know, it's been a crazy start.
What's the percentage for census?
Did you look at my email? I saw that. So it went up 0.6. It's working. Our stuff okay now. Now imagine if we replicate that all over the city. I got Erie, but Erie can't do all the work. He knows it must be.
Hey, sir.
Yeah. You gotta figure something out. Yeah.
You'll see how it is. We're averaging about 6 to 10 registrations every day.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's what's,
Yeah,
I mean, I can't say that's what's sold. Everything happening, but ever since
that has
we
helped.
went to put the poll over there,
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't that 2% rise over like 10 days. The overall for county one is 66.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Are you talking about census?
Yeah.
I think, Claudia, it was brilliant of you to have Erie House camped outside. Hey, Ralph, for the firefighter promotions, the swearing in is gonna be on Thursday here in Chambers at 2 o'clock. So they wanna be able to, bring families in for pictures, so we're gonna stagger it so that, they're just a group,
Okay, so not gonna be sworn in tonight?
not to them.
Okay, we'll just make the,
Yeah.
okay. Good idea.
What did Tony do? Did he fall off his, bike? Dordom? Yeah.
Mr. Berlin?
Hi, Marge, how are you? Hi, Jose. How are you?
That's the one that you did that.
Thank you.
Oh, of course, I'm happy to do it. Okay, anytime. Yeah. Yeah, no.
Thank you. That's the Berwyn.
We're trying to put together,
It's socially distanced. Where'd you do it?
we talked to,
At the police station? Oh, North Berwyn.
Janine, we talked to Joe today, me and Tony, about trying to put together that program, how he wants to do it. So he's gonna submit it all in writing, it's gonna be outdoors.
2
So
minutes.
hopefully we'll be able to do it, so.
Tony, I just tripped over your bike.
Because I guess you're winding down the interviews now, too.
I think this is the last look
Okay. He's looking in July.
it's hard.
Did you
He
get
said
this
he's looking
email
in
about
July.
the handicap parking issue?
You mean the 3 emails about that handicap? I talked to Sandy several times about it.
So I know you guys showed up over at the waterworks to fight you. Nobody, really, really.
It's all the people that thought, oh, you know, I was serious, they were trying to message me, I was like, you guys know me by now.
You can't be shooting on the line. You can't shoot on the line.
No, he's not here today.
I'm gonna take it off when I start, because I can't talk at the same time. The one that you sent me today, I got the same thing before. I didn't know he was gonna do an open forum, and I got to read Tony Perry working on it. That's not,
Oh, I thought this was a new board.
yeah, Ralph talked to me about it too today, yes. So I already got that resolved. Hopefully Tony took care of it today, or yesterday, actually.
Okay, good.
Okay, can we call the council meeting to order, please? Marge?
Lennon?
Here.
Ramirez?
Here.
Reardon? Fate?
Here.
Santoy?
Here.
Ruiz?
Here.
Avila?
Here.
Noack?
Here.
8 present, Mayor.
Can we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and please remain standing? I pledge allegiance to the flag If we could please keep in our thoughts and prayers all the men and women we have on the street today. Thank you. I'm going to start out open forum. We've been receiving calls and emails regarding the amount of fireworks in town, and I just want to remind everybody that it's very difficult for us to issue tickets regarding fireworks. The police department has to be on scene viewing the offender in order to issue a ticket. Unless a neighbor who sees somebody do it is willing to sign the complaint and show up in court to testify. They're trying to do their best, but it's very difficult. And unfortunately, the amount of fireworks we've seen for the last month has been going around the nation. We've got complaints from all different states about the amount of fireworks. My only suggestion to everybody is please, respect your neighbor, keep the peace in your community, please. That's all we're asking you to do. That's my only comment for open forum. Anybody for the audience have anything in open forum? Claudia?
Okay, I just wanted to provide a quick update for all city council and everybody watching us, and then I'll say it briefly too in Spanish. I wanted to let you guys know that the census caravan that took place on June 17th was very successful, and I want to thank the Berwyn Police Department, Morton West, and Erie Neighborhood House for really making this such a successful event. Over 100 participants came. We did give out 5 gift cards, and we did it in the areas that have some of the lowest response rates. So we went through the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th ward areas. And I also want to thank the aldermen in those areas for reaching out and asking what can they do in order to have those numbers rise. So I'm also asking the viewers who are in the city of Berwyn, in particularly those areas, if you've done the census, which takes less than 5 minutes, you can do it at www.my2020census.gov, to please encourage your neighbors. This is how the city secures resources. And I also saw that a lot of people mentioned the census in a previous meeting, so I just want you to know that our numbers still need to rise. At this point, we are at 58.6% of an overall response rate, but this response rate comes from the 2010 census data, in which we were only at 54,000, approximately 54,000 people population. So I just want to make sure to stress to all the aldermen who have received communications and emails regarding what your particular census tract, to continue to communicate these to your wards, to continue to post and repost what the city data and what the city posts on their Facebook and all their other media, and to just continue to collaborate and reach out to the Berwyn LGCCC so that we can be successful. Solamente les quiero dejar saber que la actualización sobre el autorrespuesta aquí en la ciudad de Berwyn para el censo 2020, estamos a 58.6%, y quiero estresar de las personas que los están viendo ahorita sobre nuestro live stream, especialmente a las personas que hablan español, que es súper importante que completen el censo, porque así es como nosotros aseguramos que recursos para las familias en las áreas donde se necesita más, como en el 5º, 6º y el 7º, también tengan los recursos que son necesarios. Solamente toma 5 minutos. Pueden ir al www.mi2020censo.gov y así es como pueden completarlo. We also are going to have Erie Neighborhood House here on site at Berwyn City Hall from Monday through Friday, with some days they may not be able to be here, but every time they are, we're going to do a live stream, and we're going to let you guys know they'll be here from 8:30 to 3 o'clock, and they'll be able to provide assistance downstairs in the Euclid side of the entrance. So cualquier persona que necesite ayuda en completar su censo puede venir de lunes a viernes de 8:30 de la mañana a 3 de la tarde, y pueden agarrar asistencia de nuestros colaboradores que están aquí en el sitio del ayuntamiento en el lado de Euclid.
Thank you. Anybody else from the audience? David, I wanted to remind the aldermen that it looks like everybody in the state of Illinois is on target for June 26th for Phase 4. There is a lot of information on the Illinois Commerce site. Ruth, did we send that copy to all the aldermen?
The copy's not there.
Can we send the link to the aldermen?
We did not send the link to that. It is on our COVID portal.
Okay.
You can find it on our city website. On the COVID portal is the link to the Department of Commerce, all the regulations for all the different industries. And we will be doing a PSA tomorrow, but as of Friday, City Hall, I sent information to all the employees and aldermen. Here, City Hall will be increasing the number to 50 residents at a time who can enter City Hall. And we have safety guidelines also. And we will be doing a PSA tomorrow for everyone to hear that also.
And I think you should make yourself familiar with some of the industries, especially the bars and restaurants, because you guys are going to be getting the calls. And there is no set number, just so you're aware, on the bars and restaurants. It's based on the social distancing and how much capacity they can actually hold in their places. There's different formulas for stand-up bars, and there's different formulas for restaurants. So you guys need to be aware of that. There is no set number, but you're going to be getting calls that this place has too many people. Be aware of what those regulations are. If there's any questions, obviously you can direct them to myself or Dave Hallsberg at the Berwyn Development Corporation. Dave, did you have anything to add to that? Okay, I'm sorry.
Mayor, what about the opening and closing of those establishments? I know right now it's 10 o'clock. Are you going to extend it now?
The hours are going to be their regular business hours as pre-COVID. We're going to allow them to do their regular business hours. The outdoor dining is going to remain the hours that we've set forward during this period, during Phase 3. So that will remain the same hours as Phase 3, but the regular indoor hours will be the same as would be normal in a normal business license. Anybody else have anything for open forum?
Mr. Mayor, I received 2 emails from residents requesting to present at open forum. One was, Miss Erica Mendoza, who had questions regarding the police candidates list. I was able to answer her questions regarding when the list was first put up and when it expires. So she was happy with that information. I also received a email from Mr. Octavio Torres, who was concerned about the noise level at El Nuevo Vallarta restaurant and had questions about outdoor music. And I understand that Alderman Avila and Mayor, you have also reached out to Mr. Octavio Torres to answer his questions.
Alderman Avila spoke to Mr. Torres. I spoke to a licensing officer who spoke to the owner of the establishment regarding that problem. And he took care of that.
Yeah, we have to be very careful with that. I mean, we've given them a lot of chances already, and I know that, you know, with the shutdown that they've had, like all the other businesses, they're hurting for business, but at the same time, they're affecting the quality of life of those
Yes.
residents around them. I get complaints from people 4 blocks away that they could hear the music, so I hope they listen. I hope they follow.
100%, because the ultimate threat that was inherent with that is their license is going to be pulled. So, okay?
Mayor, I have a comment. We just got confirmed July 11th, in the 8th Ward, we are going to have an 8th Ward cleanup, and our friends from the Berwyn Police Department, Berwyn Fire Department, our friends at the Erie House, and just added was the North Berwyn Education Association. In collaboration with those groups there, we're going to do an 8th Ward cleanup. And, you know, kids who are in District 98, make sure you ask your parents, because a lot of your favorite teachers will be out there helping us clean up. So that's July 11th. We're going to start at 10 o'clock at Ridgeland and Roosevelt at the Shell. And we are still looking for a food sponsor for after the event. So any restaurants in the 8th Ward, when you see me coming, don't lock the doors.
And you're aware of the masks?
Correct. I'm supplying masks, gloves, and garbage bags for everyone.
Okay, good.
All right.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I want to announce the same. The 6th Ward cleanup is actually this Saturday, June 27th, starting at 10 a.m. going to noon. We're meeting in the District 98 parking lot, which is on 16th and Wesley, and I too will be providing the necessary tools needed for cleanup. I have advised all my residents, and it's open to all the community, so it's not just the 6th Ward. Anyone can participate. To please bring their masks. I am going to have a very limited supply available for those who forget, children and adults, and we are also going to be doing some gardening in the ward. My predecessor had done some beautification in the ward on some of the end caps through initiative of his, so we're actually going to be revitalizing those and bringing them back. Unfortunately, they've been neglected and not maintained, so we're going to start focusing on bringing some more beautification to the 6th
You might
Ward.
want to talk to Alderman Santoy, because he's the one that brought that idea to council for all of us. in
Yeah,
the
he's
time.
staying clear away from stuff like that.
I was gonna text her, but, you know.
Okay.
But he has offered some resources, so thank you, Alderman Santoy, for your donation. We appreciate it.
All right, anybody else have anything?
I'm lending you the rakes. I'm not donating them, I'm lending them to you.
I understand I'm not to return the bags, though, correct?
Anybody else have anything for open forum? Okay, then item C1, please.
Item C1 are the minutes of the regular city council meeting of June 9th, 2020.
Make a motion that we approve the regular council minutes of the meeting that was held June 9, 2020.
Second.
Motion by Avila, seconded by Fate, to approve the council minutes of June 9th, 2020. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item E1, please.
Item E1 is an ordinance submitted by the Delgado Law Firm on behalf of the Berwyn Development Corporation, reading an ordinance providing for the issuance of not to exceed $7,500,000 tax increment revenue bonds, Series 2020, South Berwyn Corridor Project of the City of Berwyn, Cook County, Illinois, and providing for the execution of a trust indenture in connection therewith.
I will
Dave?
make a motion to adopt this ordinance, request the corporate authorities to fix the necessary signatures, and send it on its way to passage.
Second.
I have a motion by Lennon, seconded by Avila. David, did you have anything you wanted to speak on with regarding this before?
Only if there's discussion or questions.
Okay. I have a motion and a seconded. All those in favor on the call of the roll? There's a
Lennon.
question, excuse me. There's a question.
I just want to affirm that this is a bond issuance to the TIF district, and it won't be directly raising taxes for anyone?
Yeah, just for clarity, that's a great question. This is not a GO-backed bond. This is only increment that's been already pledged and created by the TIF district that would go to this particular bond issuance. It gives the city flexibility in two regards. First, it provides the opportunity to move forward on the depot infrastructure project to help identify thereabouts $4.5 million of shortfall that we have at this time to make that project a reality, and then to give the city flexibility on the remaining dollars to use those funds elsewhere in the TIF for a project of the city's choosing at some point in the future.
Any other questions? Okay, I have a motion first and second, and all those in favor on the call of the roll.
Lennon?
Aye.
Ramirez?
Aye.
Reardon?
Aye.
Fate?
Aye.
Santoy?
Aye.
Ruiz?
Aye.
Avila?
Aye.
Noack?
Aye.
8 ayes, Mayor.
Motion carried. Item F1, please.
Item F1 is an ordinance submitted by City Attorney Anthony Bertucca with an amended document passed out earlier today. The ordinance reads, an ordinance establishing a diversity commission for the City of Berwyn, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Just so those of you that are aware, the only amendment concerns in item 291.02A, 6 members serving a 1-year term and a recurring 2-year term appointed, but the member qualifications in B has been changed to say that you must be a Berwyn resident for at least 1 year to serve on the commission. And then the only other one was in the duties. There was a run-on, so we just incorporated their mission statement into, so there's just a colon and a smaller letter added, services to the community, colon, to ensure, just so it followed trend with their mission statement. That's the only amendments.
I would like to move to defer this for 2 weeks so that we can discuss issues about training.
Excuse me, I didn't hear that.
So that we can discuss amongst ourselves at Committee of the Whole, issues about training, which the commission itself has asked for, the budget impact on that and how we can allocate some money for that training, and that we tighten down some of the requirements. I realize that this original ordinance was based on the ad hoc committee that was convened a year ago and has done an excellent job. I would like us to make an intentional effort to determine what the best qualifications are so that this commission has the best resources to meet our needs. And that seems to me to require some more conversation. So I move that we defer it for 2 weeks.
I'd like to respond to that, please.
Yes.
I'd like to defer it for longer than that. I have asked, I don't know if any of you, my colleagues were able to watch the video from our meeting on Monday, but I have given them a task for year 2. I have requested a game plan, specifics on what their focus is going to be. I have made recommendations on where I see year 2 being, as far as being more engaged in the community, getting more, building relationships with the community. And I'd like to see what their plan is, and then just have discussions after that, because we obviously will have to provide some feedback and some direction on whether what they've provided is enough or we need to edit it in some fashion. But I've also asked for a budget.
Excellent. So I would
So I have a
amend my,
motion to defer for 2 weeks, motion to defer for longer. So do we want to make one motion?
I will amend my motion to defer it after their next meeting, which is in 30 days.
Just a suggestion, if you defer it generally, once this has all been accomplished, we can always bring it back,
Excellent.
as opposed to setting a date each time.
I will happily defer it generally, understanding that, that the alderman and I will be paying attention to when we should bring it back in discussion about that.
Perfect. And I will let them know that I would really like to speed that up.
Very good.
Thank you.
So that's the motion to table it in general until such time as we
No,
bring it back.
Your motion is to defer
Defer
generally.
generally.
Meanwhile, the commission still stands, right?
The commission is still in operation, correct.
Okay, all right, very good.
Okay, so I have a motion to defer generally. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ruiz. Motion by Reardon, seconded by Ruiz to defer generally. All those in favor on the call of the roll.
Lennon.
Aye.
Ramirez.
Aye.
Reardon.
Aye.
Fate.
Aye.
Santoy.
Aye.
Ruiz.
Aye.
Avila.
Aye.
Noack.
Aye.
8 ayes, Mayor.
Motion carried. Item I1, please.
Item I1 is a communication from Alderman Santoy, the minutes of his Budget and Finance Committee meeting of Thursday, June 11th.
Make a motion that we.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. It will be my motion to submit as informational. I do want to acknowledge that there are other considerations to be contemplated with this, with the proposed changes, and I look forward to discussing them as a whole with the City Council. And with that, again, just reiterating my motion to submit as informational.
Second.
Motion to submit is informational by Santoy, seconded by Lennon. All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, we should have. Opposed? Okay, passed. Item I2, please.
Item I2 is a communication from the Police and Fire Commission with recommendations on the promotion of Ryan Hickerson.
Make a motion that we concur with the Police and Fire Commission and Chief Hayes in appointing Ryan Hickerson as a lieutenant.
Second.
And also it'll be effective, July 3rd, 2020.
Second.
Motion by Vila, seconded by Noack to concur with the recommendation of Chief Hayes as well as the Police and Fire Commission in appointing Ryan Hickerson to the rank of lieutenant effective July 3rd, 2020. All those in favor on the call of the roll.
Lennon.
Aye.
Ramirez.
Aye.
Reardon.
Aye.
Fate.
Aye.
Santoy.
Aye.
Ruiz.
Aye.
Avila.
Aye.
Noack.
Aye.
8 ayes, Mayor.
Motion carried. Item I3, please.
This is a communication from the Police and Fire Commission with a recommendation for the promotion of Brian Madden.
Make a motion that we concur with the Police and Fire Commission and Chief Hayes in promoting Brian Madden to the position of lieutenant,
Second.
which will be effective July 3rd,
Sorry.
2020.
Second.
Motion by Avila, seconded by Noack to concur with the recommendation of Chief Hayes and the Police and Fire Commission to promote Brian Madden to the rank of lieutenant effective July 3rd, 2020. All those in favor on the call of the roll.
Lennon.
Aye.
Ramirez.
Aye.
Reardon.
Aye.
Fate.
Aye.
Santoy. Could you repeat, Alderman?
Aye. Yes.
Thank you. Ruiz.
Aye.
Avila.
Aye.
Noack.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item J1, please.
J1 is a communication from Police Chief Semaglia regarding a request for authorization on a contract for benchmark analytics software.
Make a motion that we concur with Chief Semaglia and enter into a contract with Benchmark Analytics Software, a sole supplier, for 3 years. The first year cost will be $96.90. Ask the corporate authorities to affix the necessary signatures and place it on its way to passage.
Second.
Motion by Avila, seconded by Noack to concur with the recommendation of Chief Semaglia and approve the sole source company of Benchmark Analytics Software on a 3-year service agreement. First year costing $9,690. And actually, they're having the police administration execute this agreement and place it on its way to passage. All those in favor on the call of the roll. A question?
I do. My understanding of this, and I'm just asking for confirmation, that this will enable the police department to see disturbing trends, or if there's a place where the officer behavior needs to be attended to before it becomes an actual problem. That's in part what
Correct.
it's hoping to do, yes?
Yep.
So
This actually settles several items that were brought up by the Hiller and Hines study, respecting us collecting data, but that is an important part of it, as it's outlined on the first page of their agreement, too.
Thank you very much for bringing this forward, Chief.
You're welcome. I have first and a second. Can I have a call of the roll?
Lennon.
Aye.
Ramirez.
Aye.
Reardon.
Aye.
Fate.
Aye.
Santoy.
Aye.
Ruiz,
Aye.
Avila,
Aye.
Noe.
Aye.
8 ayes, Mayor.
Motion carried. Item J2, please.
J2 is a communication from Fire Chief Hayes requesting authorization to contact the Police and Fire Commission due to promotions.
Make a motion that we concur and allow Chief Hayes to contact the Police and Fire Commission to hire the next 2 qualified candidates due to vacancies of retirement.
Second.
Motion by Avila, seconded by Nowak, to concur with Chief Hayes, allowing him to contact the Police and Fire Commission for hiring of the next 2 qualified candidates on the eligibility list due to retirements. All those in favor on the call of the roll.
Lennon,
First, I'd like to thank both lieutenants for their long-term service here in the city of Berwyn, and aye.
Aye.
Ramirez, Reardon,
Aye.
Fate,
Aye.
Santoy,
Aye.
Ruiz,
Aye.
Avila,
Aye.
Noe.
I'd like to thank their service as well. Aye.
8 ayes, Mayor.
Motion carried. Item J3, please.
Item J3 is a communication from Fire Chief Hayes requesting the promotion of firefighter Scott Wazak and firefighter Robert McCory to be sworn in as engineers.
Make a motion that we concur with Chief Hayes in promoting to engineers firefighter Scott Wazak and Robert McCroy.
Second.
Motion by Avila, seconded by Nowak, to concur with the recommendation of Chief Hayes and present firefighter Scott Wazak and Robert McCoy to be sworn in the seniority promotion to the position of engineer. All those in favor on the call of the roll.
Lennon,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Reardon,
Aye.
Fate,
Aye.
Santoy,
Aye.
Ruiz,
Aye.
Avila,
Aye.
Noe.
Aye.
8 ayes, Mayor.
And I would like to personally thank firefighter Scott Wazak for all the help he's given us, especially in the command unit with respect to his expertise in the infectious diseases. He's been a tremendous asset to help us fathom this whole pandemic. So I want to thank Scott personally on that. Motion carried. Item J4, please.
J4 is a communication from Building Director Lazara requesting permission to demolish the house at 3129 South Oak Park Avenue.
Be my motion to allow for the demolition of the house and the garage at 3129 South Oak Park Avenue.
Second.
Motion by Fate, second by Ruiz, to concur and allow the demolition of the house and garage at 3129 South Oak Park Avenue. All those in favor on the call of the roll.
Lennon,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Fate, I'm sorry, Reardon,
Aye.
Fate,
Aye.
Santoy,
Aye.
Ruiz,
Aye.
Avila,
I just had a question. After they demolish, is this going to be part of that resurfacing of that whole?
Correct. It's
Parking
going
lot
to be,
in that
yeah,
area?
with the detention and everything, yes.
Okay, very good. Yes. Aye. See?
Noe.
Aye.
8 ayes, Mayor.
Motion carries. Item J5, please.
J5 is a communication from Berwyn Director Tammy Sheedy, a request to go out for bid for recarpeting of the lower level of the library.
I'll make a motion to authorize the library to go out to bid for recarpeting the lower level, including the cost of moving the shelving units.
Second.
Excuse me? Okay,
Pick one.
okay.
The
Motion
twins,
by
the
Lennon,
twins are
seconded
talking
by
right now.
Reardon, to concur with the Director, Tammy Sheedy, to allow the library to seek authorization to go out to bid for recarpeting the lower level, which includes the cost of moving the shelving units. All those in favor on the call of the roll.
Lennon,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Reardon,
Aye.
Fate,
Aye.
Santoy,
Aye.
Ruiz,
Aye.
Avila,
Aye.
Noe.
Aye.
8 ayes, Mayor.
Motion carried. Item J6, please.
J6 is a communication by the CDBG Director, Regina Mendocino, along with a resolution stating a resolution approving the City of Berwyn's Citizen Participation Plan Amendment for use with grants from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution, fix the necessary signatures, and send it on its way to passage.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Avila, to concur with the recommendation, approve the resolution, affix the necessary signatures, place on its way to passage. All those in favor on the call of the roll.
Lennon,
Aye.
Ramirez,
Aye.
Reardon,
Aye.
Fate,
Aye.
Santoy,
Aye.
Ruiz,
Aye.
Avila,
Aye.
Noack,
Aye.
8 ayes. Mayor.
Motion carried. Item J7, please.
J7 is a communication from CDBG Director Mendocino with a resolution stating a resolution approving the City of Berwyn's substantial amendment to the consolidated plan for program years 2015 to 2019 for Community Development Block Grant CDBG funds, and to include and implement the Corona Aid Relief and Economic Security Act, the CARES Act, Community Development Block Grant COVID-19 CDBG CV funds, and for authorization to submit same to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development.
I will make a motion to approve this resolution, fix the necessary signatures, and send it on its way to passage, and thank Regina and the city for their hard work in this and pushing this.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Ruiz to adopt the resolution, affix the necessary signatures, and place it on its way to passage. All those in favor, call the roll.
Lennon?
Aye.
Ramirez?
Aye.
Reardon?
Aye.
Fate?
Aye.
Santoy?
Aye.
Ruiz?
Aye.
Avila?
Aye.
Noack?
Aye.
8 ayes, Mayor.
And this was due more to the hard work of Director Mendocino and her staff on behalf of the entire city. So thank you. Motion carried. Item J8, please.
J8, another communication by Director Mendocino with a resolution stating a resolution authorizing and approving the City of Berwyn's amended action plan for program year 2019 for Community Development Block Grant CDBG funds, and to include and implement the Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security CARES Act, Community Development Block Grant COVID-19 CDBG CV funds, and submission of same to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
I'll make a motion to approve this resolution, fix the necessary signatures, and send it on its way to passage.
Second.
Motion by Lennon, seconded by Fate to adopt the resolution, affix the necessary signatures, and place it on its way to passage. All those in favor on the call to roll.
Lennon?
Aye.
Ramirez?
I have a question.
Chief,
The chief, did you leave?
Oh, no, we're not on that yet.
this is CDBG.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm the wrong one.
Yeah.
Okay. Aye.
Ramirez votes aye. Reardon?
Aye.
Fate?
Aye.
Santoy?
Aye.
Ruiz?
Aye.
Avila?
Aye.
Noack?
Aye.
8 ayes, Mayor.
Motion carried. Item J9, please.
Item J9 is the deferred item from June 9th regarding police fine fees.
I'd like to make a motion that we defer this general.
Second.
Motion by Avila, seconded by Noack to defer generally. All those in favor on the call to roll.
Lennon?
Aye.
Ramirez?
Aye.
Reardon?
Aye.
Fate?
Aye.
Santoy?
Aye.
Ruiz?
Aye.
Avila?
Aye.
Noack?
Aye.
After conversation with Chief Samaglia and Alderman Santoy from the Budget Committee and Alderman Avila, we felt at this time it's probably best to defer this generally as opposed to imposing these fines immediately. So therefore, we'd like to wait to see how this pandemic is affecting our residents with respect. So that's why we're deferring it generally. We'll bring it back at a more appropriate time.
Thank you.
Count?
Make a motion that we observe.
No, how about if I say it's passed? I was waiting for Mark to tell me it was 8-0. Okay. Motion carried. I'm sorry. Consent agenda?
Make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Vila, seconded by Reardon to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Aldermanic committee meetings. Alderman Lennon.
Call it, Chair.
Alderman Ramirez.
Call the chair.
Alderman Reardon.
Call the chair.
Alderman Fate.
Call the chair.
Alderman Santoy.
Call the chair.
Alderman Ruiz.
Call to chair.
Alderman Vila.
Call the chair.
Alderman Noack.
Call the chair, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Noack, seconded by Vila. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Come on, I want to see you write it. Oh, thanks for the reminder.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
You want to set yours down
started at the beginning. We're gonna work our way through. They're gonna grind that, probably be ground tomorrow. Probably, if everything works. That's the last street that's scheduled for tomorrow's grind.